We are live again. Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Build Paint Play. We've done that already for.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that again. You only get that once.
Okay, we'll keep that on there. But now, hopefully, we've got some other folks. Everybody's going to jump back in. We'll find out if that's going to occur. But let us know in the chat if you can chat, or if you can message me and let me know if you can or not. So we'll do a lovely wait a few minutes.
All right, so Luis jumped in.
Hellfire Hobbies says this show runs as smoothly as the friendly tournament. Fantastic. Okay, cool. Yes, we have.
There we go. All right, it looks like it's working now.
Hellfire Hobbies. Is Hellfire Hobbies? Is that Max Dubois? Is that you, Max? Sean Gleason is here. Chris Kemig, Dave Hummel, Poor Old Child, Josh Sawyer. Josh said, "Man, we had technical issues on my end today." Nope, they're all on mine. Hit the wrong button and you're done. Oh, yeah, excellent. It is Max. Doc's here. Amy Frost is here. Hey, Amy. Team Pink. Oh my goodness, we know a bunch of
Pink. Oh, JF.
Okay, so
There we go.
if you want to see the intro ramble and find out all about the origins of the guys as far as Games Workshop goes, that's in our first 15-minute segment.
Yeah, there's some great stuff in there. Jeff and I took a walk down memory lane. Brian jumped in. We talked about XGW stuff. Dave was working on our programming in the back end here. Dave's our trusty tech priest in the background, like applying the unguents and lighting the brazier.
Unguents and oils.
Yeah, exactly. Skynet is using parental control and advocating that Dave has a startup checklist from now on. I do have a startup checklist, and that one is now being added to it.
Yeah, again, everything was right except he hit one wrong button.
One wrong button, and it kills the chat. Sorry about that, folks.
Well, so guys, normally what we do after we do the intro and we rambled a little bit while Dave was doing some tech support, we normally talk about hobby stuff. So, like, what have you guys been working on for hobby stuff?
Ooh, good question. I got a couple things. You want to start, Brian?
Sure, yeah. I'm going to the dark side of Sigmar, which the 4th edition is a blast, by the way. Working on some lizards and everything else. I got a little croak action.
Nice.
Right there. So just wrapped up croak, and Jeff and I will be playing on Saturday morning, so it'll be good times.
Nice.
Playing is the relevant, questionable word. I'll be trying to play at Age of Sigmar, so I will be attempting to use for the first time some Stormcast. These guys were built today.
Nice.
So there. Big hobbies for me is I'm getting my boys back in play. You know, I'm an Ultramarines guy, so Robbie G's coming back to the field with this little guy. Hello. And then
and you built him the right way with his helmet on.
With his helmet on. Who goes to war without a helmet? I don't care if you're a Space Marine or not. You wear a helmet. And then my big fun project this year was going back to my love of terrain, and I've been working on the display board for our AdeptiCon team tournament. So I won't tip too much, but I've been playing with lighting effects, and it's the first time I've worked with a team across state lines and continent lines and country lines. So not continent lines, country lines. So it's been a fun experience so far. I haven't shared pictures with them yet, so I'm getting ready to share some pictures this week. They're on this chat, so I know they're anxious to see.
Awesome. Nice. Very cool. Shall we jump into presentation, Jake?
Sure.
Yep, because I've got your photos in there.
Okay, right on.
Look at that. Excellent. Cool. Now let's see if I can screw this up.
Child friendly.
Yeah,
Jeff, we gotta throw an XGW party while we're at Adepticon, because like Cliff will be there and like Jeff will be there. Like there's a bunch of us that'll be there. So
oh yeah,
so many.
Jeff Brooks will be there.
No, Jeff. I think Jeff Smith will be there from trade.
Okay. Yep.
And then Jeff Hall. Oh no, Jeff Hall won't be there this year. He's gonna be.
I think he's going to be at GaryCon. Oh, he's going to GaryCon, which is a week earlier this year.
It's a week earlier.
Oh no, he'll be at AdeptiCon. He'll be at AdeptiCon. There's some other show he's missing this year.
Oh, I'm excited. I haven't seen either of those guys in a while.
Excellent. Cool. So first up, as we always do, we thank the Army Painter, our sponsor. Woohoo!
Absolutely.
Thank you for being our season sponsor. And
just picked up some more today.
Nice. I need to get some more matte black. I'm almost out. But if anybody has watched Uncle Adam's video on Tabletop Minions of him painting up this anchorite shrine for French Crusade,
I'm just calling that a battle church.
Battle church. Okay, yeah, painting up this battle church for French Crusade. It's a pretty straightforward paint job, as you can tell by the 4 steps that are required on it there, but it's a cool video to go and check out. So you can do that one. Next up, 28 Collected. So this is the book that I've been working on with the team from 28 Magazine.
Very nice.
Kickstarter finished 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks? 3 weeks ago. Oh my goodness. And last week we were able to send out the surveys. The pre-order store is now open. There is a link in the notes down below. So if you missed the Kickstarter, you can go and check that out.
Remember, folks, just according to this, it's not just a book. It's a lavish 320-page hardback book.
It is. It is. And tomorrow morning, I have a video call with my printer liaison in Lithuania.
Yeah.
So that we can talk about the gatefold that's in there. We've had a lot of emails back and forth about how it works, and I thought I got it right, and I sent it all off, sent all the files off, and yesterday morning got an email back from him saying, "No, this is not how it works." It's like, okay, great.
Remember, guys, there's a big centerfold of Dave in the middle.
It is not of Dave.
Like a George Costanza couch centerfold.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's like, oh, you can't quite see it, but it's like this. There we go. I thought this was how it worked, but it doesn't work that way. So I have a call tomorrow, but it should be fun. Excited about that.
To be fair, it's a tasteful shot of Dave.
There we go.
It is. It is. They're all tasteful. Tasty. Tasty is what I meant to say.
Yeah, there we go.
Fantastic. And we just want to say thanks to Gonzo from More Than Dice, who sent Jake and I these super cool dice trays. 3D printed.
He showed up and I was like, oh man, that's super cool. These are nice.
It is awesome. It's lovely. And this Sunday evening, Jake and I are going to be on the More Than Dice live stream.
Yep.
Again, link to their Twitch channel in the notes below. So if you haven't had enough of us by 9 o'clock tonight, you can get more of us on Sunday. Woohoo!
We already have people lining up in the chat being like, I'm XGW. Like anybody who's XGW is welcome to come hang out with Jeff and I. Like no one's gonna be upset.
100%. We will drink the days away. Maybe roll some dice.
Alan Borthwick here. He worked in GW New Zealand, so definitely cool.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. Cool. No, Doc, you can't. You are stuck with the centerfold of me. But next up, Jake.
Oh yeah, so I finally finished building everything for my 1,500 points. I've been waiting for parts and trying to scrounge for stuff. So this is my scratch built Moratat. I was going to use Cypher, and I know I have 2 of them somewhere. That model's been sold out for weeks on GW, and I can't find him. So I was like, okay, I can't wait any more. I'm just going to build this guy. So his body and his right arm is off of the new Berserker sprue. And then his left arm is, I think, a tactical marine piece. It's one of the outflung arms. And then the Serpenta pistol is from the melee weapon upgrade. The head is one of the old resin Mark II helmets from Forge World. I don't know where I got it. Like it was in my bits box. The backpack is from one of the 2 Praetors that come in the Horus Heresy box. It's the guy who's usually painted like an Imperial Fist. And then I also put a there's a piece on the back of his arm. It's one of the Mark III like armor plates, just to bulk up his left arm a little bit. And then I have a 3D printed chain axe that's behind him because he's an Imperial Warhound. So any character that has a chainsword can get a chain axe for free. So I was like, yep, that's happening. But yeah, so I finished this guy today. He's super fun, and he's beefy. He's pretty big for like a Horus Heresy Space Marine. Yeah. These are my 3 sergeants. So that's the 2 on the middle guy and the guy on the right. Those are my 2 tactical squad sergeants. Again, I upgraded them with chainswords, and then they get an axe for free. And then the guy on the left is I did a whole squad of Mark III, and those are going to be despoilers.
Nice.
I had to do so much scrounging to get pistols. I don't like that everything in Horus Heresy has a pistol in the right hand.
Yeah.
Everything has. I'm sorry. It's a pistol in the left hand, close combat weapon in the right. So I had to like scrounge. I went through my bits box. I found old tactical stuff. Like I think the old Devastator Sergeant came with like an offhand weapon. So I did, beg, borrowed, and stole and swapped everything out and tried to give as many pieces as possible. So they're not all axe pistol. Like I was like, I can't do that. It's going to drive me nuts. So I mixed them up, did a bunch of kit bashing, but they were really fun. The new plastics they're such nice kits.
I do have to ask. It looks like on that pistol that that you've drilled out the barrel, but you haven't cleaned off the mold line.
Dave, you're not supposed to say that. I saw that too.
Believe it or not, that's such an old pistol. I scraped that with a knife. Like there's nothing there, but you can see.
Oh, it's just a white line. It's just a white line.
Yeah, there's nothing there, but it's still. I did it like 3 times because I was like, oh, I thought I did this one already, and then I took this photo and I was like, oh, I thought I did this guy, and I'm like, nope, it's just an old pistol. There's a seam, but like there's nothing there. Like there's no actual line.
That was going to be my next question. Was it like that?
But I drilled out all my barrels. I always do it.
Yeah. Excellent.
I think that guy is that's the only guy that's bareheaded. The guy in the middle. And he's not really, I like that crazy like gas mask thing. So
yeah.
These are my 4 apothecaries. So I got the 3D prints from Pop Goes the Monkey, I think. And so they all have the reductor Narthecium on their left arms. And then again, I had to do some swaps and stuff to find different weapons. So just to bulk them out a little.
Should have crawled through my garage. All the bits you need.
I have tons. Again, I didn't think of it when I bought the kits. I was like, oh, I'll just mix and match. And then I was like, oh, they're all right-handed. I was like, that's weird. So the berserkers, believe it or not, the berserkers are all the opposite. They're all left-handed weapons. So like those 2 left arm, the 2 guys on the left, those are both berserker hands that I just snipped them and carved them down a little bit so they would fit. But I was like, that's the only way I could get left-handed bolt pistols apart from a handful of random kits. So but I wanted them to all be a little bit different. So they're all wearing Mark 6 technically, but they all have different helmets. So the guy on the left is wearing Mark 3. The guy in the middle, I think that's a modified Mark 2. The guy with the beak is a Mark 6, obviously, and then the guy on the far right is a Mark 4.
Cool.
Just to differentiate them a little bit. Oh, I love these guys. These are my rampagers. So they're, for all intents and purposes, they're non-chaos berserkers. It's basically what they are. So this was a really fun kit bash. Again, it's the current berserker sprue. And then I basically got a bunch of old bits, did a ton of conversion work, ton of filing. The guy in the middle, the 2 guys with the swords, for example, those are from the Grey Knights, the dual weapons. Yeah. So I cut the wrists and filed them so they'd fit. And they're a little oversized. Believe it or not, I actually used the Terminator hands because I liked the fact that they looked a little bigger. And then the guy with the skull mask and the guy on the far right, those are actual berserker helmets, but I snipped off the rabbit ears and very carefully like filed them down using a knife, like cutting away and edging. So they look nice and smooth. They just look like they're basically Sarum helmets, but I just wanted to have some different heads on them.
Yeah,
they look pretty dope.
Thanks, man. So they have all 3 weapon options. So the guy on the left has a excoriator chain axe, and then the two guys in the middle have the phalanx blades. Because like that gets impossible to get, and I didn't want to like have a bunch of weird knives. I was like, they're just mashed weapons. That's all they're supposed to be. And then the guy on the right, those are from the Deathwing the old Deathwing command box. Those are the old maces, and I'm just using those as my meteor hammers. So
just from the chat, we'll start with Dan Wood says only nerds drill out their bolters.
True. Agreed.
Oh,
Josh Potter says you clear the mold line, then you paint with confidence, only for the mold line to return. It was the mold line.
I mean, I'm not really gonna lose any sleep over it if it's still there. Like,
and Dave Hummel said he saw an awesome tool on Etsy the other day, a 3D printed drill guide for drilling out barrels.
Nice.
And Scott has joined us, and he says nobody's buying that BS about big mold lines.
I don't take any guff from people who can't finish a model with paints that were provided. Come on, get it together.
So how much blood for the blood guy when you've slipped the pin vise into your thumb? When it's
I'm pretty
off?
good. It's been a long time since I've cut myself with a knife or a pin vise.
Man, I'm nursing one of those wounds right now. Look at that. Look at that.
Nice. I've gotten really good at it. I basically just I hold the barrel in my left hand, and then I poke it once with the tip of the pin vise just to see if I got the hole right. And if I didn't, I just move it a little bit, or I'll drill it at an angle until it centers, and then I straighten the drill back up and go in. So
okay,
they're fun though. I love doing that.
Okay, Jake. Next up, we've got a quick run through of Gamma.
Sure.
You do need to post these in the Facebook group.
Okay.
Okay, so don't forget to do that. You can give some more description there. But thanks to my slip, we're running a little bit behind.
Also good.
Here we go. Gamma. So these are photos Jake took at Gamma last week after our show. So we can give us a quick rundown of what's in each. Quick.
Yeah, I'll go through them quick. Yeah, when we talked last week, like they were in the process of setting up, so nothing was done. Yeah. So this is obviously the Steamforged booth on the left. Those are the two War Machine racks. Those are the new ones. And then in the middle, that's the new P3 rack that stores will be getting. I think the P3 racks are supposed to be shipping for either end of March, beginning of April. I think it's beginning of April. So you'll see that in stores soon. I think they're going to have samples at AdeptiCon. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if you can buy them. I think they'll have samples you can like mess with, but I don't know if they'll be selling them yet. The new War Machine rack is beautiful. It's all in white and it's backlit. And the thing up the top, that sign actually lights up.
Nice.
So at your store, like if your local store orders it, you can just roll it in and plug it in, and it turns. It looks really nice. The whole top row at the moment is plastics. So on the left hand side, that blue and red box, that's the classic Kador Signar starter set. It's the new one though, and it's all in like Hips plastic. So it's all really nice sprues. I brought home a set, and Ben is cracking it open at the store. I'll show photos when he's done. But really, really nice. A really good kit.
Excellent. Josh Redmond's joined us. He said, if you don't bleed, are you really hobbying?
Probably not.
Dan Wood says, hot take, there are too many paint brands.
Oh, I'm aware. Like we talked about that.
Need to go back and watch last week's show. Sean Gleason has joined us. Sean won the ticket we were able to give away to AdeptiCon, and he has already signed up for the Iron Arena.
Outstanding.
Nice. Next up.
Oh, so this is just a shot from like the entryway. This is just kind of like seeing all the booths set up. Obviously the big Magic D&D one to your right, that's the Wizards of the Coast booth. In front of you and kind of where I'm standing is the Asmodee booth. So they own things like Catan Studios, and they own Fantasy Flight, and they own Atomic Mass Studios. And so a lot of the big games that we're all familiar with, like Asmodee owns them. So they own like Star Wars Legion, Star Wars Shatterpoint, Marvel Crisis Protocol, like X-Wing, even though right now it doesn't exist. They own Armada, and then like a gazillion board games. But they're like, it's a super cool show. It's really fun to walk around and kind of see everything. This is a shot of the new Fallout Factions, which is basically a skirmish version of the Fallout game that Modiphius makes now. The regular game, was it Fallout?
Okay.
Yeah, Wasteland Warfare. So Wasteland Warfare is essentially designed to be a cooperative adventure game where like we all work together to fight through. It's almost like D&D. It's a miniatures based D&D game. It kind of reminds me of like Rogue Trader, where Rogue Trader was like squad based D&D basically.
Yeah.
So it has a little bit of that. It's fun. The problem is that for me, the range is like it's insane. Like there's a gazillion models, and you're like, I have to buy all this stuff. Like, it's intense.
Yep. Excellent. Flying Frog Productions.
I took this photo for Jeff. Is it? Oh no, this is for
Carl.
It's for Carl, and it's also for
Matthias.
For Blair, because Blair owns all of this.
Right.
Like they make.
How do I get a picture? How do I get a little patch of that flying frog? That thing's dope.
I bet you they would give you one if you messaged them.
Yeah,
they make a bunch of games, but the big one that everybody knows is the Shadows and Brimstone, which is another like dungeon crawl-esque kind of like really miniatures heavy war game. It's really, really fun. It's a cool game. The models are amazing. Jeff Smith has painted like a ton of this stuff too. I'm blown away how much stuff exists in that line. Like almost everything you're looking at here is shadow. The whole front row is all Shadows and Brimstone. And then the ones that are up on top, the middle pile is all Shadows and Brimstone. The one on the left, I think the red one is not. And then the ones on the far right, I don't think is either. But the range is enormous. There's so many cool games, so many cool minis. They also make another game that's all sci-fi steampunky. This is called Hard War. This is a game that's from a publisher, I think in Poland, I think. And it's been around for a little while. It's kind of a miniatures agnostic tabletop war game. It's different than BattleTech because it's much more like it plays more like a video game in terms of like you're like I can have X amount of armor assets and I have X amount of like mech assets and they take up different slots, and then the combat is much simpler. But I'm a sucker for giant chunky robots, so like I was like I'm gonna take a photo of this.
Nice.
They said this is obviously the guys at Mantic. I was like, I'm taking a photo for the show, and they were like, yeah. I was like, do you want us out of it? And I was like, no, you guys should absolutely be in the photo.
So that's Kyle on the left and Blake on the right.
Yeah. They're the trade guys. We see them all the time. They were diagonally across from us at Nova, so we got to talk to them a lot. They just hung out because they sold out of everything on the first day. This was great. Obviously, they were showing off the new Flashpoint stuff, and they were showing off all the Wave 2 stuff. So I got to see the boxes for the 2 new squads of Spartans. We talked a little about stuff that's coming out. Super fun game, and obviously we all know Ronnie Renton, great guy. So they were killing it. Like the Mantic booth was busy most of the time. I did this at the end of the day, so there wasn't anybody around.
Oh, there we go.
So this is the table at the Warlord booth. So they're showing off Conflict 47. There's a bunch of stuff going on with Conflict. Some of it I can't talk about because of paperwork that I may have signed. But there's a lot of stuff that they're making some changes to. The big thing that I'm pushing for is they get rid of the robots that they have, because they got those from the guys at Clockwork Goblin, a lot of those designs, and they just make big, cool, like diesel punk robots. Like the example we talked about was either AT-43, which was a confrontation game back in the day, or like the Dust models, or there's a comic that has giant mechs in it too. I think that right now it's the time for an alternate history World War II game. Like, like everyone wants to kick fascists in the teeth, and like who doesn't like giant robots? And I think there's a lot of cool stuff that they can do. And with all the other games right now not existing, it's kind of a sweet spot for them. And I think it's the one thing that Warlord owns that's theirs. Like, I mean, you can't copyright World War II. Like it's public domain, and all the historical stuff they make, same thing. It's all, open. It's just open to everybody. So I think Conflict 47 kind of gives them a very unique brand that would be theirs. They just need to lean into it. I think it would kill. It's super fun. And the bolt action rules are great. It's not like you have to change a lot. They just need to figure out a way to kind of like sexy it up, I guess. So, but the table looked great. The tanks are painted really nice. All the stuff on the left, the brick ruins and stuff. I forget what that's a bunch of new kits that John was talking about. It's not, I don't think it's Sarissa. It's another company.
Okay.
I can't remember. He told me, I can't remember what it was.
Right.
Okay. This is Archon Studios. So Archon Studios is a company in Poland. They used to be, or they grew out of what was Protos. So Protos, or Protos Games used to make
history. We don't
need So, but these guys are great. They do a ton of really nice plastics. These are all like hit plastic models. That, I don't want to call it a Balrog, but that like giant demon thing in the middle is, it's huge. It's bigger than Scarbrand. It's bigger than a Bloodthirster. Like he's big. It weighs almost nothing. Like the whole thing is it's hollow. It's a hollow plastic model. Beautiful detail.
Are those clear plastic?
Yeah, I was trying to get in close. So
translucent plastic flames.
There's like translucent plastic on the sword, and then there's a little on his head that goes down his back. There's a piece you can just see sticking out on the left, like where his tail is, and then there's a couple pieces like up in his ribs, like in his obliques almost that are also pieces, and there's pieces like in his eyes. So I was talking to the rep, and she was like, "Oh yeah, what you would do is you would just pop those out before you prime it, and then you paint the model, and then you can pop them back in." So you have like that translucent I was like, that's kind of cool that it comes like that. That's really neat. So
yeah.
But yeah, they had some really cool stuff. There's that speaking of cool walkers, there's that white chunky walker on the right.
Yeah.
That you can barely make out. And then the box behind it, they do a bunch of really cool stuff from a series called Dungeons and Lasers. They make like D&D terrain and like cool dragons, and I think this Balrog is part of that line. And then they have another series called Rampart. And Rampart is all like weird, not quite 40K World War II punky stuff. So there's like walkers and big chunky tanks and like revetments, and there's like infantry dudes. And they're just they'd be great for like mini agnostic stuff. So
cool.
But I mean, just looking at this picture, they've got some nice looking guys. Like there's the sniper guy, and there's like some cavalry dudes.
Yeah.
But they had a ton of stuff.
Excellent. Cool. Okay, and Jake will put those on the put up his photos into the BuildPaintPlay Facebook group, BuildPaintPlay community Facebook group. Link below.
Nice. Dan nailed it. That's a gal rob. We don't want to get sued.
Indeed. Awesome. So now finally we'll get to the point where we brought you guys on. So Jeff and Brian. To talk about the 40K friendly, primarily about the 40K friendly. We'll talk a bit more about AdeptiCon and more 40K stuff that's going on at AdeptiCon. But are we ready to jump into that? Because the first photo that they get to bring up is pretty frightening.
We're ready. I'm curious.
Let's see what we got played.
Okay. So this one isn't frightening. It's
oh, there we go. Nice.
The Dread Fire Roberts.
So a little backstory. We've done the friendly every year. We model it after a movie, and usually old movies that the younger kids don't know about. So yes, this is the Princess Bride season of the 40K friendly. And,
last year you guys did Back to the Future, right?
Back to the Future. That's correct.
Dude, I heard so many people talking about that. You guys got such great reviews. Everybody I talked to was like, I played in this really cool event where like you had to worry about Doc Brown and Marty and like Biff. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, is there a new Back to the Future miniatures game? And they were like, no, I played in the friendly. I was like, oh, awesome. Like it was wild.
You should have seen some of the stuff that people brought. That's the point. I mean, there were new minis out there. People modeled their models to bring about, in this case, Back to the Future. So there were docs. There were docs. We had a cardboard cutout. One of the goofball things we do in the friendly is I'm a very firm believer in cardboard cutouts from back in the day. So I had cardboard cutouts of Griff and Biff walking around the table. It was ridiculous.
Excellent. So I know that we've got a bunch of folks in the chat who are get some gnarly feedback there, but some folks in the chat who have played in the 40K friendly.
Yeah.
But for those folks who are in the chat or haven't, who are going to be watching after this, who haven't heard of the 40K friendly at all before, can you give us a quick rundown of what that is?
Sure.
Yeah.
All about.
So I'll start, Brian, and then you gut check me. You fill in as needed. So 40K friendly. So Brian and I have played 40K for decades, to say the least, and we've run on these super high level tournament levels, and we've done all this stuff. And something we talked about, I guess we could say a decade or so ago, a while ago, is, do you remember when you were a kid and you were playing? And as Jake wears the manager shirt, I used to wear a manager shirt. We lived in these stores, and you see these little 10-year-olds come in, and the sheer amount of ridiculous silliness, rules that were created, and the smiles and laughs that were created was something that we felt at the time was missing. And AdeptiCon had started the year before us. Chris Merstad had started. They got the idea, and they started to run something called the Friendly, and it was in its inception. And they did the Big Lebowski, wasn't it, Brian? Big Lebowski. So they ran that, and it kind of got a little momentum. Everybody liked it. And then they reached out to Brian and I, and we kind of took it over from there and started running through the different themes. And the base concept was a tournament format that isn't a tournament format. The best general, the seriousness is gone. It was about getting models on the table, having some fun, having the unexpected happen, and taking that high-level tournament out and just laugh. You know, you think about, Dave, you're in your basement right now. How many games you might have had down there that may have had a bottle with a soda or a beer or something like that? These are the things that we're missing in the hardcore tournaments, that we just wanted to bring a little break to the bigger tournament.
Sure.
Yeah, like an overall winner, we banished all the battle points from that, and we decided just to kind of get some like team camaraderie. So we divided everybody into teams, so colored teams, and that turned into the famous friendly bandanas. So the idea is that we group them all. I see a bunch from Team Pink here in the chat right now, and they compete together as a group, right? So we do a lot of themed events, things that are not tabletop gaming, like little physical challenges between the rounds and stuff where we have the team kind of go together, and then we award a lot of soft scores and things to the teams that compete on that. So it gets that like fun play as a group. Here we go. Here's one of the physical challenges. This was the same season where we did the Princess Bride. Oh no, I take that back. This was the Spaceballs.
This was
Spaceballs. Those are Schwartz
battle, where we had between the rounds, they had a champion for each team. Would go out and compete with pool noodles who Schwartz was better on that. So that's the fun kind of flavor we bring into the friendly. As you can see, it's a big crowd, a lot of noise, a lot of fun. Everybody taking care of each other.
We also take great pride. The friendly runs the day after the championship, and probably for the last 10 years, we've had a parade around the top 16 just to drive them crazy and let them know that there's a little bit of fun out there.
Fantastic. That's cool. One of the things that I thought was super on brand, really, for you guys, is when I contacted you and said, hey, can I get some photos of the event, photos from you, the organizers, people who've been organizing this event for, what did you say, like 11 years or something?
11 years.
Yeah.
Can I get some photos? You've probably got lots of great photos. And I got like 4 photos from Brian, and Jeff was like, I don't have any photos. So you guys are just like, I've mentioned this before the show, you guys are just like me in that when you get into it, you're so into it that you don't think about anything else except making sure that the people you're running for are having a great time. So we reached out to a few folks from who have played in the friendly, and Amy is in the chat, provided us with a lot of photos. We got some photos from Clint Beaver, Rogue Guy, and we got a shot from Jason Dyer, Doc. I put that right at the end, so we'll show off one of his custom minis. But Super cool. Let's
Amy says Jeff is too busy standing on a chair and yelling into a bullhorn that actively makes him quieter.
This is true. This is true. It does actively make me quieter, and that is the curse. I'm running around. I typically have a costume on, and just let me just tag on to that one, Dave. Brian and I and the other folks we bring to help with us. We have this little cadre of folks. We do run around. The community and the pictures we get throughout the whole year is amazing. Like, people reach out nonstop. It's slowly grown. And as JF pointed out, it is one of the fastest selling out events. I'm always shocked. And then my email blows up the next day. Hey, I got to get in. So I was really excited this year that we, I think we added 50 spots and two whole teams. So we've run for 10 years, we've run 8 teams. We're at 10 teams now, 10 teams of 15. So that's a huge step forward.
Yep, that's awesome. That is super cool. And it's a 1-day event.
It's a 1-day event.
All right.
Start not too early and end not too late. Usually people are struggling to finish the third game. They've laughed and giggled too much.
Nice. Well, the next shot we've got here, I think, is from Amy. I think Amy said this was her first AdeptiCon, and she's at the table there on the right-hand side.
Is that Kathy?
That's Kathy on the left.
That is Kathy. And Clint.
Yep. And they're painting up minis for the
You
friendly.
can tell it's Amy's first Adepticon too. Look how serious she is.
Yeah.
Usually now she's smiling.
Yeah. But yeah, Amy did say that when she was going through her photos, she got a bit teary with this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah. There we go.
Blues
Brothers. Fantastic. Tell us about the Blues Brothers.
So Blues Brothers, Chicago. You can't go wrong. So we Brian and I were the two brothers. We God, what did we do for that one?
Did we have the nun slapping people with rulers?
That was
she'd slap.
We had a 12-inch. If anybody is game long enough or wants to go back and do a Google, when you used to buy a starter set, you used to get this cardboard dreadnought in there, and you put in this little plastic clip. So that was the inspiration for the nun. And we printed out. I think we printed out 70 nuns to go on all the tables. And the nun would run around and smack you with the ruler. And in those days, that was the days of like D weapon. So if it touched you, you died. Her ruler, every time it smacked you, did like 2d6 D damage to your unit. So units were just evaporating.
I think we let people know about a few weeks before the tournament back then what the theme was. Kind of the fun part now is we really announce the theme either at the convention for the next year, so people have enough time to dress up, get their armies themed, all that kind of stuff, which makes it a lot more fun. But yeah, Amy was telling it with the Blues Brother theme.
Excellent. JF said that in the previous photo, the cake was stolen from the Malifaux cake match. With the cake there in the corner.
I see it.
Nice. And
I do like cake.
They're doing cupcakes now, but fantastic.
All right, I'm gonna do cupcakes. Cupcakes are a good idea. see
nice Harlequins going on.
Yeah, it's one of the ones. So one of the things we do a lot of is we celebrate the game, and we tend to celebrate the game in toasts. And one of my great joys is to introduce first timers to a toast. So usually about, what do you say, Brian, 30 minutes into the first round?
Yeah, about that.
We usually stop everybody from playing, dice down, and we do a toast. And this is the shock across the board. You can just hear this silent intake. We do a toast. If you're experienced, you see all these crazy bottles and cups come up, and other people are like, okay. and we say, hey, let's toast the game. Let's have a drink. We tip it back. And then I get to let them use it as terrain. Stand it up, turn it sideways. It's impassable and it's on the table. And I see this picture and I see the little green there. Imagine that's terrain, but I've seen where people have set up just bottles and block. Imagine these giant power units. Someone thought they were going to sneak in and it just got blocked by an passable army. You're like, that's the friendly. The unexpected happens.
Right.
That's awesome. There was a guy I played in a tournament up here years and years and years ago. And there was a guy who, I mean, this probably wasn't, I would say this was probably 10 to maybe 10 years ago. So maybe he played in one of your friendlies, but we were playing the game and he was like my second round opponent. And he wanted to do a toast at the beginning of the game. And he had snuck in like a flask and had like shot glasses and stuff. And I was like, oh, that was really cool. Yeah, I always love that stuff. Like Jeff, all of us know being X Games Workshop, like sportsmanship was such a huge part of the game.
Huge.
And I really miss that. I've said before, I've won tournaments. I've been a top ranked player. My favorite award that I cherish the most is winning best sportsman at a tournament at the bunker that was all staff. It was all senior managers, bunker personnel, all the core cadre of managers, the White Dwarf staff, and I won best sportsman. And I was like, that is my favorite award. I was like, in this whole room of absolute hobby champions, the fact that I got best sportsman I was floored. It's my favorite thing ever. But yeah, I think all that's missing. I think you guys do such a good job of kind of bringing that back and keeping the fun in there, and teaching everybody that it's not just like crunching numbers to like make the most busted army. It's about having fun with whoever's across the table from you and enjoying the game. Like that's the whole thing. Like sportsmanship and the fun part. Like that's what matters.
And bring that unit that you never thought you'd bring to the table. This is the time to put it out there. And if you just get it out there once a year, you get 3 games with that unit. And I promise you, that unit that you thought was is going to be, oh.
Yeah.
And this is the Princess Buttercup squig with which is awesome. That was our Princess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, in the chat, Amy said that she saved her doubles partner one year. I think she had to chug a cider, and then was able to put the can down and save her partner from instant destruction.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it was a year where randomly paired people up into teams out of nowhere. Like round 2 was like, we're going to pair you with someone else randomly.
And that's really what it is. One year too, we had a buy, and how old was Eli? Eli must have been 11.
Yeah, 11 or 12.
My oldest son, so he's 18 now. But I needed an army, so we ran out, and we were like, what the heck? So we ran out, and I just found a bunch of red solo cups. And I think I put 15 out, and they were all just dreadnoughts. So it was a dreadnought army of solo cups. We drew happy faces on them. Cool. To this day, people love that game. That was one of the funnest games ever.
They're red. Obviously, they're Furiosos.
It might have been a play. It was so funny.
Oh my goodness. So Stephen Riders is showing this Tabletop Super Show. Hey Stephen. JF said seeing an 11-year-old chug a beer for terrain is really something else.
Wow. Easy. We're not trying to shut down.
Not chug beer unless it was like
root beer. It was an A&W root beer.
It was root beer.
Excellent. Fantastic. He said I brought him dice that year because the ones he had were rolling trash.
That's true.
Yeah. Sometimes dice have to be sacrificed to the dice gods. You don't get to use those again.
Yeah. Excellent. And you guys do some fun sort of giveaways, fun merch.
Oh yeah, this is courtesy of the tournament has grown. This is actually courtesy of Amy, I believe. And these came out, and I call them the fans, but the players, they bring the merch and they spread it out. They put it out there. So these were giveaways put out to all the players via players. That's the type of event that we're building in there. This was a fun one. This was the first event. So this was Top Gun. And this was two very momentous things. Hold on, let me yell at my dog.
But yeah, that was the year we actually had people bring their own plane to do dogfights in the games.
Yeah, we forced a flyer. We forced a flyer into that. And what else, Bri? There was one other big thing. This was the big one that I noticed. This was the first year of display bases. Remember the two really awesome, like Top Gun landing strips and stuff like that. Our paint judging, so something we take pretty seriously and we look at is the painting, the hobby, right? How much hobby did you put into that? We spend hours and hours in there. Dave, you're sitting in front of yours right now. Yep. We all got it. Brian's in front of his. And that was something that we felt was lost in some of the bigger tournaments where we appreciate the competitiveness and the chess match, but we feel like the hobby was out. So we really wanted to amplify, it's not the right word, but like amplify it. Well, I'll go Spinal Tap, turn it up one more, right? We'll turn it up to 11. So we really go big, and the armies that come to the tables, I mean, I think Brian would agree. Brian, you can say otherwise, but they're top notch. People go all out.
Well, we did see Amy's Eldar here, her Harlequins.
Oh yeah.
And they look very nice. Yeah. Beautiful work. I love the just spotted the Death Jester in here. Nice.
This was a great looking army. I remember this army.
Beautiful stuff.
I do love a good Harlequin army.
Yep. They're definitely cool.
It's always a challenge too, remembering the details by the second game for the judges. Somewhat like Brian and I have to be very careful walking through I call them the lines, because you'll get through 2 lines and we've had 4 shots and you can't remember anything anymore.
So you guys were talking about all the teams. Do you keep the teams together, or are they new every year?
People request, they can definitely get on a color, but there's been I think Team Pink's they got randomly assembled 8-9 years ago, and they've gotten to be friends through the years. So they've come back and requested to be on Team Pink. We have others that do the same thing, which is kind of cool because it's a good.
Yeah. And then Jake, they stay as a team through the tournament, and we don't even pair. We don't even pair like this person. We used to do that. We simply say, Team Yellow and Team White, you're on this block of tables. Go find a partner.
Yeah, that was the early learning. When we first started off, we thought we had to do these like elaborate Swiss style pairings, and it was
that's the last thing I want.
As I'm doing beverages, trying to get ready between round 2 and 3. Getting on the computer, printing stuff off, and then we said, well, why does this even matter? Like, let's just randomly pair them up. So we just say color versus color, you choose the table.
Yep. No, that's fantastic. I mean, anytime, particularly when you've got an event like this where people are coming back to it year after year, that opportunity to either play somebody you do play every year or play somebody you haven't played yet over the last 5 or 6 years, whatever.
So I'll be honest, like the last couple of years, like I've been so busy because I usually work AdeptiCon. I don't usually have any downtime. But I've always swung by, like I usually run into Jeff every year. We talk for a minute or two, but he's usually like, oh, I got to get out of here. I got to go run the friendly or whatever. So I've watched it. I've checked it out. I'm always like, man, I really want to play in it. But then I started talking to people and they're all like, oh yeah, it sells it every year. And I was like, I'm never going to be able to get into it. But that next year, depending on what Dave and what our schedules look like, maybe I'll try to actually like get in there early with Hank and be like, Hank, let me know when I can sign up, and then I'll try.
You know the right people. You know the right people, Ozzy.
Yep.
I appreciate that, but I don't want to cut the line. Like if there's people there, I don't mind making sure I'm like in time to get in line. So
you don't mind sitting there hitting like F5.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. I just got to make sure that I do it.
Yeah. Excellent. But fantastic. Oh, bandanas.
Wave it, Brian. Wave it, Brian.
Yeah, so we do get the cool thing, these beautiful bandanas. They are the AdeptiCon logo every year. So
nice.
The really cool thing is all the different colors. They get that as part of their registration. And then I think whatever the extras, we usually let the con sell the rest too. But it's kind of cool. So I think it's Jeff. What are you at? 10 colors or this year?
We're at 10 colors. Yeah, 10 colors this year. Nice. So traditionally been the same colors. We're adding 2 more. I actually don't know what those 2 colors are, so I'll be pleasantly surprised. But the nice thing is, I'm hoping for like a mauve. The nice thing is, they help count your years, because it's always like Brian said, the Adepticon banner. So it has the year and then it has the theme on it. So it'll say, don't they put in there like what does yours say? Yeah.
Well, that's the 24 one last year. I forgot what it was. I mean, they started incorporating the friendly theme into it. Parts of it, 30 dozen. We did for 12, 11 Spinal Tap, 13 Friday the 13th. So we tried to kind of get it. Then we started running out of like movies that made sense with the year.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm so glad you did Spinal Tap in 2011. That's great.
That was a fun one. I'm bringing back something this year that we started in that year. That year, you remember the wheel, Brian?
Yes.
So we had the wheel, and you would spin it, and there was always a +1. So it was +1 to strength, +1 to this. So all of a sudden, this was you could have a dreadnought that was strength 10, and it could go to strength 11. Guess what that's going to do to you? So this year is Ghostbusters, and I brought the wheel back, but this year we're calling it the Wheel of Gozer. So, and it's going to have some fun elements.
That's awesome. I'll definitely. It's Friday night or Saturday night?
Friday during the day. Starts at 8. Registration starts at 8. We're done by 6.
Yeah. Dave and I will definitely come by and get some photos, and like I said, I always see you anyway, so I'll definitely swing by and see while it's going on, so I can see now that you've increased by 50%. I'm curious to see what that's going to look like, bro.
This is going to be so much fun.
Yep. You could potentially get bigger next year. I was talking to Hank, and remember when we had them on last year, we were talking about they were nervous because they were going into the new space. Mm-hmm. And at the new space, they basically doubled the amount of space that they had at Adepticon in Schaumburg, and they were I don't want to say nervous, but they were like, well, we don't really know what that's going to look like. We don't know how fast it's going to fill up. We don't know if that's way too much, if it's not enough. And then they filled it up immediately, and now they're already like, so next year we're going to increase it again. So yeah, I'm excited.
I was shocked. We went in at our normal. We went up a little bit. And the event sold out so fast that they reached out to me and they're like, can you guys go a little bigger? And we're like, yeah. And then that sold out and we went bigger again. So I think the last time I looked, and I think registration just closed, and there were 5 open spots after being bumped up twice. I was like, holy smokes. So I was a little nervous too. I was like, okay, that's a lot. But this event really, you get the right people in there, and it almost runs itself. I just have to stand on a chair and yell at people.
Yeah. How do you determine what people are running? So is it like Combat Patrol 2,000 points, 1,500? Like what are we doing? Is it different every year, or is there a standard?
So that's a great question. It was. So what Brian and I used to go back and forth on, what do we need? Do we not allow this? Not allow this? And with the changes of editions, we've gotten to the point, with the changing of editions, and Brian and I have become masters of, you snuck something in, guess what's going to happen? That we pretty much keep it free form. Bring what you need to bring. I put the warnings out there. It's 1,500 points. I put the warnings out there. If you're spamming a unit, more than 2, or you think you would run this in a competitive tournament, rethink it. Go find that unit you would never put on the table and add it to replace a unit. That's the army you want. But we do enough wacky and enough little sidebars that we haven't had to really doctor the lists, and we have such a big enough return base that I don't even have to check army. I used to have all the army lists sent in and I'd vet them. I haven't had to do that in about 3 years. I've been pretty comfortable.
That's awesome. So if I get in, somebody's got some crazy feedback.
Jeff, I think that's you, man.
Is it me?
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
That's yeah. Is that?
Yeah, it was Jeff.
Oh, it's wild. I was like, I think the devil's about to grab Jeff. What's going on? That's crazy.
No, I had a bunch of dogs running around down here fighting. I kept yelling at them.
So I guess the big thing would be that if I get in next year, or if Dave and I decide to do it or whatever, I'll have to make an army from scratch, because I was like, I've played basically the same Blood Angel list since like 3rd edition. Like my Blood Angels are identical. It's like 39 jump dudes and a Storm Raven. Like it's a good list, but it's not spam, but it's the same list.
Right.
And then like my Flesh Eater list that I brought last year it's pretty rock solid. I probably would not run that in a friendly. So I'll have to throw something together. I'll do something wacky. Like I've always wanted to do like a guard army and just do like a leaf blower list, and I'll just bring like a bazillion squads of like guardsmen.
I think Doc was it last year or the year before he did all cavalry, like all guards.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. That's the only way you could run that list because they're not great. Like I would just run a ton of Death Riders.
Yeah. Dan Wood said goes the area and heard his name being invoked. Jeff, that's what the
yeah, that's what happened.
That's what
his name has been invoked.
And Amy said, I played against the night list last year, and the dude kept apologizing the entire game.
He did. But Amy's so nice too.
Was it John Schaefer? Was it John Schaefer's night list?
No, it wasn't John Schaefer.
No. But he did. He kept slipping in. We had one night, and it happens, but it's like, I'm sorry. But again, we put that safety warning out. Like it's not about what happens on the game. You rolling dice is you rolling dice having fun. Your dice can all roll ones. You can have the powerest heavy list in the world. It's not about that. It's about who's on the other end of the table, what kind of drinks, what kind of conversations, who's standing next to you, and what kind of conversations. What's that environment you're building?
Yeah.
We're not here. You're not here to win. Your individual score, that don't mean anything.
Amy just said, she goes, it's fine. One of them got hit by a train.
That's story. One of them did get hit by a train.
Yeah, that was the Back to the Future train, right?
It was the Back to the Future train.
What we try to do to kind of balance that out is give some wacky stratagems that are unique to the level, unique to the mission.
Yeah.
Like penalize like a super powerhouse, when you used to have like super friends, like these giant 40K, buffed units. Those are the ones that just can't do anything for a turn, or get hit by a train with mortal wounds, or slapped by a ruler from a nun, or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So visualize a little bit.
I love the idea of you guys doing wacky stuff. I think that's super fun. I'm once I get there and Jeff is like, we're off camera, I can't wait for Jeff to be like, here's all the crazy crap we're doing, because I'm not playing in it this year. So like it'll be kind of neat to see that.
Yeah.
I still think one of the craziest games I've ever played in was remember when in White Dwarf they put out that Space Marine movie list.
Yes.
That was I ran an event at my store and I just took the squad. It was a squad of 10 guys and they all had like bonkers profiles. They were all like strength 6, toughness 6. They had like 5 attacks each and like 4 wounds. They all had like 2 up armor saves. Like I ran against a kid came in who was a pretty good player and he brought in it was a 2,000 point Emperor's Children list at the time. And he ran all the crazy stuff like Doom Rider, and he did the Death Star where, you had, was it 6 bikers and they all had to mark a Slanesh. And because they were Slanesh's number, you got a free icon bearer, and then you could drive them into something, and then you'd sacrifice the icon bearer and summon a Keeper of Secrets. So he did all that nonsense, and I was like, come get some. The movie Marines just dismantled his list. But it was so funny. Everybody was like, I want to play against the movie Marines. I want to play against the movie Marines. Like, we had so many kids. I did it as a one-day event, and kids came back for like a month being like, I want to try to play my list. And I was like, bring 3,000 points. Bring all the crazy Apocalypse battle stuff you have. It was awesome.
Yep.
That's what we invoke. That's what Brian and I created and invoke, is that crazy that happens. And we do. I forgot about the train coming back too. I stopped the game and we were going back inside the train, and it just obliterated. That's one. We've had a couple others. So between that, you say the movie Marines, that's like an inspiration. And the other part is like, I'm gonna toot Dave a little bit here. So back when I worked at the Glen Burnie bunker, I don't even think I was a manager yet. I think it was just a full-timer. Dave, you had built that Custodes army out of Blood Angels and stuff like that. I had the privilege, you put that army out there, and at that time Custodes were just lore. Everybody talked about them, and they were the whatever. He built that army, put all that time into it, and put it in the case. And the one when I saw it just brought chills to the arms, but the sheer amount of people that would come look at that and appreciate that, that's the other, I have several moments of that through my hobby career where you see that and you're like, oh, that's the type of stuff that we've been trying to drive into the friendly to keep it alive.
Excellent. Speaking of Custodes,
Gozer's back.
Yeah, Gozer's back.
Well,
That's so weird. I don't.
It is weird. It's like,
I have nothing on. It's just sitting here. I don't know why it's doing that.
but speaking of custodies, JF said, talking about the movie Marines list, that's the list that became the custodies.
Oh,
Custodies now.
Even the custodes are not as tough as the movie Marines. That's you were supposed to run a squad of 5, and they were like, "Oh, there's rules to do 5 more troopers if you want." And I was like, "Those 5 Marines, the sergeant was a killing machine because he had this chainsword. His rules were nuts. And then the guy with the missile launcher, you were like, "Oh, I shoot a missile at that." And you're like, "What's the strength?" It's strength 12. And you were like, "What?" Like it was gross. You were like, it was a strength 12 big blast template if you did the barrage, and it was a strength 14 if you did a crack missile. So you were like, "I shoot it at a Land Raider." You're like, "Cool. I need a 4 to wound it." It was bonkers. Like I loved it. They were so overpowered.
As Josh says in the chat there, White Dwarf 300 was the best episode ever.
Yeah,
it is pretty good.
So if you get a chance to, if you want to check out that list, if you want to check out the custodies, I think my custodies are in 300. It's also 300 pages, I think. No, we didn't quite do 300 pages, like 240 pages. But
yeah, it's oversized. It's definitely a double.
It's oversized.
It's like a double-sided issue.
I'm looking for it right now. I got it somewhere.
Mine's sitting on the shelf just over there.
Also, if you want to see Dave's custodes are also in Dave's Armies, Legions, and Hordes book. They're in that. Like we've talked about this before. Like Dave is Games Workshop's R&D department. Like all you have to do if you want to see what's coming out next is you look at what army was Dave painting like 8 to 12 years ago that doesn't exist, and then they make it. It's like, what did Dave do? Custodes. They're like, let's put out Adeptus Custodes. What did Dave work on after that? He made a whole like AdMech army. That's not a thing. Let's make AdMech. Like, oh, he did some Dark AdMech. Dude. Let's make Dark AdMech. Like, I swear to God, they just go back and look through Dave's notes and find out what he was working on, and then they make that.
Hey, we need your feudal guard, man. The feudal guard needs to come out.
Oh, those guys, yep. They're in a where are they? They're in this blade cabinet up in my dining room.
Oh, nice.
His Guestwick 33rd are literally Kriegers. Like, I mean,
yeah,
not quite, but anyway, thank you. Guys.
Horses in gas masks, they're 100%.
Oh, the horse gas masks, sure. But yes, let's move on. We've got a couple more photos here.
Dave's blushing. For those of you listening in, Dave is blushing.
So yeah, Clint sent us a couple of photos. This is Clint in miniature form. So if you've been to AdeptiCon, you've probably seen Clint walking the halls. It's known as the robe guy, and somebody's worked on a couple of miniatures for him. And I'm guessing he uses these to lead his army.
He does. So it's always his general. I think this one is with the Malort. I want to say this one is this might be Princess Bride, simply because but he always brings Malort, and it's cool.
Malort tastes like chew. I am from Chicago, and this is not my. I'll do it, but reluctantly. But that is now a signature drink.
Yeah, it is his signature drink. But yes, he always has one that's themed for his army of that year.
Cool.
And last year he wore pink. There it is. There's a pink robe. Team Pink.
Yep, Team Pink. And then on the left here we got him as Doc.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Back to the Future year. Yep.
Oh. Yeah. Back to the Future year. That was a fun one.
Yep. Fantastic. Josh says the Malort counts as death. Counts as death.
It counts as gross.
Gross. Definitely cool to see those shots from Clint there. And I think finally, there we go. Death. Malort is death. There we go.
Yeah, Doc's Back to the Future DeLorean, man, was awesome. That was such a cool concept of bringing that through. Yeah. And again, like the cool thing about this, like this may never get play ever again, right? In the game, and he spends all this time, and all these players spend the time to get like theme stuff for the friendly to show it out there, and I just take a lot of pride in like the cool work that people do.
I love that he got an actual AMC or DMC DeLorean kit, built it, and then put 40K bits on it.
Yeah.
I just had to approve a model for this year. It is the Ghostbusters bus.
Oh, the
Ecto-1, the
Ecto-1. I was like, oh, yeah, that's coming.
1960s ambulance. That thing is awesome.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fantastic. That is super cool.
There's a guy in our store who plays Star Wars Legion. This guy James, and he has a bunch of the van, that like hover transport van.
Yeah.
And he has, I think he has 2, but he's adding a third. So he has one painted as the A-Team van. He has one painted as the Jurassic Park trucks with the tiger stripes on them. And then he's doing a third one, and he's painting it to look like the Ghostbusters, like Ecto vehicle. I was like, that's phenomenal.
Jurassic Park, Jeff, we have never done that. That's
yeah, you just said it. Do you see? I'm making a note. I was literally writing down Jurassic Park. I was like, holy smokes.
Awesome.
That seems like a good one. Giant dinosaurs running around. Like, that's all you need. You're like, somebody on turn 4, someone deactivated the raptor fence.
Clever girls can go and murder some people.
That's right.
Yeah. That'd be definitely be super cool. Awesome. So they're the photos that we've got from the friendly. We've talked about a lot of the different themes, the annual themes, and the focus that you guys have got for it, which is friendly. It's that come in, have some fun. The conversations are the most important thing. Meeting new friends, going back and playing across the table from old friends, being part of Team Pink or Team the other colors. So why you do it? Why do you spend that, like, each year building up to that one day at AdeptiCon to run the friendly, and then move on to the next year and the next year and the next year? Why do you spend your time doing that?
I mean, I would just say the community as a whole, it's like a big family reunion, as a whole. I like Dave. I mean, we get to see each other maybe once a year, right, at these conventions. And I look at that and say, like, it's just such a cool thing, especially maybe younger in our life, we had a lot more time, right? And then as we get older, time is a valuable resource. But get to see these people that generally put all their heart and things just to bring, that kind of joy to us too. So it's just so nice to see people that are passionate about different things in the hobby come together. I just look at it like a family reunion is my best way to call AdeptiCon some of the events that we run.
Yeah, I agree. Total family reunion. The big driver for me is simply fun. I want to keep the hobby alive. And I'm a dad of 2 boys that play, and one of them's competitive. The one thing that they know, and this makes me feel like I'm doing a good job, is, and they come help. Everybody who comes to friendly, they're working the friendly, but they tell me nonstop that is what makes it fun. They see this, and it just keeps it alive and fun. It's the fun of the hobby, and knowing that, look, it's a game, and you just need to have some fun with your friends. Make up some rules and play a game.
Cool. That's awesome.
Jeff.
Am I noisy again?
Yeah, dude, it's so weird. It's like there's a big pause, and every time someone talks after you talk, it's like the mic is recalibrated and it gets super loud for a second, and then it goes away.
It's weird. It's literally, I'm not touching any. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
It's one of the ghosts. It's because you picked Ghostbusters.
It's Ghostbusters, and I can't tell you, for the last 4 days, like, I'm in the throes of finalizing all the strats and everything. So I've had Ghostbusters on nonstop. I'm working, not in a meeting, Ghostbusters on, and then I take these notes and I start writing things down of like, ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, that's a good one. And then I figure out how to put it into the event. So
awesome.
That's really cool. I like the idea that you pick. Yeah, dude, hang on. All right, now we're good. It's just for like a second. It's just for a second. Like, awesome. It needs to recalibrate. Cool. I think one of the cool things has got to be, like, every year you guys get to sit down and be like, what wacky movie do we want to do this year? Like, that's, to me, like, that's the coolest thing. Like, there's so many old school retro movies that you could do that, like, the kids aren't like. Do you try to pick a movie that is older, or does that matter?
Yeah, I don't think we've picked a movie that is less than 15 or 20 years old.
So like you're in my wheelhouse. you're in my wheelhouse. I'd be like Flash Gordon, Ice Pirates.
Yes,
you know, like
yes.
there's so much good. I'd be like, yeah, we're gonna do that. Like, there's so much good stuff from that.
Highlander,
Master. Like, there's so much wacky stuff you guys could do.
I saw JF did a Labyrinth. That'd be another good one too. Like,
oh God, would I love to do the Bog of Eternal Stench? Oh man,
you could do the Last Starfighter.
Like, oh yeah,
you gotta have that. The best is that guy who's like, "What do we do now?" Zzz, we die. Like I was like, literally his eyepiece like flips over his eye just to tell that. Like, it's like those movies are great. They don't make movies like that anymore. They're insane.
No, Sean said Tron too. That'd be a good one.
Yeah. Oh, Tron is one of my favorites.
We've had that one on our list for a while too.
Yeah,
Tron and Highlander come up every year.
You could do the black hole. You could have Maximilian, the big red robot that just shows up and kills everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's so much good stuff. Yeah, Hell Comes to Frogtown. Like, They Live. There's so much good stuff.
And we've even done wacky. We did the wacky Batman one year. We went Batman theme, but we went the old Batman, so everything was wow, kapow.
Oh, like Adam West.
Adam West Batman. We could do that. You could do Lost in Space. We had Lost in Space.
Yeah.
I've got to say, if you guys ever do Hell Comes to Frogtown, that'll be because like Hollywood has imploded. There are no films have been made for like 150 years. That's when Hell Comes to Frogtown is the next one. So, my God. But Megaforce would be a great one. You should totally.
Yeah,
do
Megaforce would be phenomenal.
God,
Russ's Action Force, but he's wrong. It's okay. Fantastic. What else are you guys doing at Adepticon, Brian? I'm
doing a little Sigmar action. Like I said, I'm trying that. I took 20 years off of fantasy, so I've been giving it a shot and playing a little of that. Other than that, just checking things out, getting a little more time just to see things and talk to people.
Awesome.
I am doing the team tournament and the 40K champs. 40K champs, I like to go play my Ultramarines and crush the midfield and not win anything and have a good time. And then the team tournament, I joined up with some Canadians and some East Coasters, and we're building a cool army. I'm not tipping anybody, so they can't spy on us. But I got to reconnect with my love of terrain building and challenge myself with a pretty big terrain board. And I've been toying with lighting elements. So that's been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, there we go.
So that'd be super cool. Yeah. Fantastic. Jake, our stickers came in.
Oh, nice.
So,
see little rounded corners. That's awesome. That's exactly what we wanted.
And it's got a URL on it there.
Nice.
So,
yeah, I get so many people like they're like, hey, can I get a sticker? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, when is it on? And I'm like, it's on YouTube. And they're like, oh yeah, because they see the little play symbol. But I'm like, yeah, we just got to start writing what it is. So,
and I got more flashy
nice
stickers, so I'll be giving those out as well.
Very nice.
But yeah, we'll be wandering around. I'm working the hobby area Thursday and Friday morning. Saturday night, I'm actually on the judging team for the Adepticup Army Showcase.
Nice.
Which would be pretty crazy. Working with Eric Locke from Eric's Hobby Workshop, Duncan Rhodes, Louise Sugden from Rogue Hobbies, and Victoria Lamb as well. So it'll be great. Yep. Super excited to help out with that. And I'm going to be hanging out with a bunch of wonderful folks. Yay!
Dude, I can't wait. I'm so excited to go. I was like, I booked my flights this morning. I think the plan for me is I'm actually gonna fly to, believe it or not, flying to O'Hare is way cheaper. Like, I was blown away by the difference.
That's weird.
So, well, my buddy Alan lives like right there.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna fly in, and it's like, he said it's like an hour and 20 minutes ish.
Yeah,
so,
about that.
So I'm gonna fly in. He's gonna pick me up. We're gonna drive, stop and get something to eat, and then we should get to Adepticon. We should get to Milwaukee at like 5:30ish, and then check in and stuff. And we got to set up his booth. And
what time you fly in? What day?
I fly in on Wednesday, and I think I land at like 2:37 or something.
Give yourself a little traffic time, but yeah, 2.5 hours.
I mean, in the middle of the day, I figured it's not going to be bad. Like, I'm not landing at rush hour. We're going to hit Milwaukee around rush hour, but
yeah.
I mean, I'm used to Boston rush hour traffic. Like, how bad could it be? And we're going into the city. We're not coming out of the city, so
it's true. It's getting out of Chicago.
Yeah, but again, I figure it'll be fine. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna help Alan set up, and then I'm assuming I'll see all you guys at like the Steamforge keynote, and then the sneak peek, and then we can kind of do whatever. And then I'm staying until Monday, and same thing where Alan and I are gonna drive back, and my flight's at like 2 or something, so we'll sleep in, pack up, head back. But yeah, I was floored. I couldn't believe. I was like, oh, how much more could it be to fly into Milwaukee? And I was like, whoa, it's almost twice the price.
That's for me flying in from Baltimore. It was not much more. It was not a significant difference. So I didn't go.
Yeah, ours was. I mean, again, mine was like I was like, wow, that is not insignificant. It was more than like $100 and something bucks cheaper.
Yeah,
each way.
Ooh.
I think all of my like any of the indirect options, were a little bit pricier, but they were also like I can fly from Baltimore down to Charlotte to Milwaukee. Or
I always fly direct whenever I can. I don't need extra.
Or Baltimore to Minneapolis to Milwaukee. There's a whole bunch of stuff that didn't make sense.
They do it all the time. It drives me nuts, but so it'll be a good time. I'll be there for 6 days, I guess. So it should be fun. I'm excited.
Excellent.
And Ben's gonna fly in for the weekend. My business partner Ben, who's awesome, he's gonna fly in on Friday night, and he's playing in something on Saturday. He's playing in that I always forget the name. It's like the Scouring of Cyrix or something, I think.
Taking a Ferrix.
Taking a Ferrix, that's it. I was close. So we're both playing in that. I'm playing in the Zone Mortalis event. Ben is playing in like the big the mega battle thing that they're doing. So that'll be a good time. Like Chris Kemming, who's a buddy of ours, is always like super amped about it. I got to see it happen last year, but it's basically, for all intents and purposes, it's a Horus Heresy friendly. But yeah, it looked crazy. So I will give you guys feedback.
Yep. Excellent. Cool. Okay. I mentioned before the show, now is when we take a look at minis from our Facebook group. So Build Paint Play community. If you want to join, down in the notes below, there should be a link. Go there, click to join. Somebody will let you in. It's a private thing, so we don't get a whole bunch of spamming. So, are we ready for that?
Sure.
You sound excited.
While Dave is queuing that up, anybody who's watching us, make sure you guys go down and do all the stuff. Like, subscribe, post a comment, share this with your friends. It helps us, outsmart the bots that are running social media.
Yep. Oh,
this guy is rad. I'm pretty sure that's Thanos.
It might be, but cool. So, first of all, we've got Adam Weller, who has shared this. This is a communicant from Trench Crusade.
It's Thanos. What other giant purple dude do you know?
I don't know. Is there a purple Hulk?
There is not a purple Hulk.
Oh, I'm surprised. But anyway, so Adam's done a fantastic job on him here. Very much in Adam's style. He's got a great, really enjoying his like non-metallic metals on his on the bells there.
He did an awesome job with like the veins in his arms. They're like a blue,
right?
And then like all the scars are like that, like kind of vivid pink, like super cool. Very, very good color choices. The bells, the color that he has on the bells is awesome.
Yeah. Grimace. There you go. Grimace is better than everything.
Okay, yeah, it could be Grimace. I mean, Grimace has been hitting the gym, if that's Grimace, but
yeah, for sure. He's cut back on the hamburgers.
Yeah, he's cut way back.
Yeah, but no, beautiful work there, Adam. Looks great.
Josh goes, I believe you mean Josh Brolin.
Yeah, exactly.
These look rad.
Yeah, Alan Borthwick painting up these guys. I think this is his spearhead force.
Yeah. He's in the background. He said he's working on the juggernauts. You can see him on the paint handles in the background. He's got 3 of them to do, but Yeah, this kit is so awesome. Like before they redid the Berserkers, everybody would just buy this kit, buy a box of Chaos Space Marines, and kit bash them. And I was like, that's the only way to make them the right size. The old Berserkers were so tiny.
Yeah, I think hopefully Alan's bringing this to AdeptiCon, so it'd be cool to see this in person. But they look great. That red, super vibrant.
I love those crazy like knuckle duster cestus arm shield thing that they have. Like that's such a cool bit.
It is pretty insane. But yeah, Brian, are you enjoying? Have you played much Spearhead at all, or?
I've not. No, I heard it's a good way to get people into the game, and it's really well balanced and fun and fast paced. So have you tried it out?
I haven't yet. I'm still working on my Cities of Sigmar Spearhead force, but I should get those done soon and give it a go.
Yeah, I might try that with my kids, get them into Sigmar that way.
Nice. That'd be cool. Looking great there, Alan. Nice one. Cal's been painting up these crazy.
Are those goblins?
I don't know if they're goblins or troglodytes or what, but they.
Yeah.
What system is that from? That's really cool.
I think Cal gets a lot of stuff from. Oh God, he told us last week. I forget.
He gets a lot of stuff from Otherworld.
Yeah, Otherworld. A lot of stuff from them. So it
cool.
Could be Otherworld stuff. I don't know.
I dig the hair on those goblins.
Yeah, check
They all have that. They all have that center part.
Yeah. It reminds me of my youth. Center part here.
I have a feeling they might be feathers, but they do.
Oh, could be.
This here just looks like it does look like fantastic cartoon hair, doesn't it?
It does. They got the Brooke Shields going on. Fair Fawcett.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I like the guy on the right. The guy on the right looks like a gremlin.
Yeah.
But nice work there, Cal.
Those are
All
cool.
good. Cool. Chris Walker?
So guys, this is a game we play every week because I'm a big comics guy and Dave is not really a big comics guy. So I try to have him guess who the heroes are every week. And usually instead of getting the hero, he tells me the actor that played them.
So I'm completely screwed on the guy on the left. Who's that?
That's Nova.
Is it Nova or Black Adam?
That's Nova.
Okay. Yeah, no idea. Has Nova appeared? Is Nova part of
Nova has not been in any of the movies. So the only tie-in is in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie when they like the space police force they're dealing with, the Nova Corps.
Right.
The idea is the Nova Corps are basically the Marvel equivalent of the Green Lantern Corps. They all wear like suits that have like slightly enhanced their powers and stuff. And Nova basically is Richard Rider, and he has like this crazy power where for whatever reason his suit is like overcharged. And then later on, you find out he becomes Nova Prime. But basically, he's like a Superman type, space like galactic space hero. So like the suit makes him like super strong, and he can fly. And the helmet has like communication stuff in it. There's an AI that helps him. But he has not been in a film yet.
Okay, cool. Because it's Michael Rooker on the right.
That is correct. That is Michael Rooker as Yondu, with his like whistling arrow. So yeah, pretty neat.
Yeah. Chris, these look fantastic.
Yeah, these are rad. Like the color choices on Yondu are amazing.
Yeah. I'm loving Chris's work on his yellow, the yellow, that really strong, vibrant yellow and the that orange shading on both the models here.
Yeah,
looking awesome.
really nice.
Nice one.
Chris is pretty good. I think he has a future in this miniatures business.
Maybe. But next up.
All right, who's this, Dave?
I have absolutely no idea on the left. And I have absolutely no idea on the right as well. But I know like Karen Gillan has already got a role in the MCU.
Correct.
There's Nebula, but I think she could also play this character on the right.
I don't disagree. I would love to see Karen Gillan as Elsa. That's Elsa Bloodstone. So she is a sort of like an Indiana Jones type treasure hunter, and she finds this thing called the Bloodstone, and it basically gives her like enhanced abilities. It's very much Alan Quartermain out of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Like she's a little more resilient, and she's like a little bit stronger and a little tougher. And then on the left, that is the Man Thing. So
the man thing.
Man thing is basically like an elemental spirit that's been bonded to like a human host kind of thing. Super cool. He's basically a giant swamp monster. So
okay,
really cool paint jobs. I like the striations he has on like the upper arms and stuff to show some like definition. And great color usage. That literally looks like a page out of the comics. So pretty rad.
Awesome. I love the little like orange disc fungus that he's got going on in the middle there.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, very cool. Nice work, Chris. Excellent.
Those are rad. If we go back real quick.
I'm sorry.
So when he first posted this, I had to do a double take at Elsa Bloodstone because I was like, is she wearing clothes? Like the skin tone, because he gave her that nice tanned like skin tone.
Yep.
When I first looked at the photo, it didn't load right on my phone. You know, the resolution takes a second to catch up. So I was like, that's a pretty risky paint scheme. But
there we go. Nice one, Chris.
Yeah. But yeah, they're awesome. They both look great.
Nice. Chris Kemmig is working on some more stuff for the Taking of Ferrix events.
I think Chris said this is his last model. He's finishing up his last. If this isn't his last one, he's on his last model or two, which I thought was hilarious because I was like, I'm about to start painting my 1500 points tomorrow. So
yeah, you better work hard.
I got 3 weeks to paint 50 models. I should be okay.
Yeah, all good. Fantastic. But no, looking cool. We're excited to see more progress on this next week, Chris. But I love that conversion.
Yeah, it's super cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah. It's a little bit of the kind of the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland, the animated Alice in Wonderland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The one smoking the hookah pipe.
Hopefully, Chris gave him one of those things. Hopefully, is a pipe. So
yeah, fingers crossed.
It's like a cyber pipe.
Yep. But yeah, looking great there, Chris. Nice one. Dave Powell's.
Oh, Dave Powell's.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yep. Started some work on his this is the Heretic Legion from Trench Crusade. So Dave and I are going to play a game of Trench Crusade at AdeptiCon.
Check it out. Those models are so amazing, man.
Yeah, they are.
The brass, like the copper backpack that he did with all the verdigris on it. Awesome. Like it looks realistic. Like if you touch this, you're going to make sure your tetanus is up to date. Like that's how good that color work is.
Yeah. Yep. It's absolutely beautiful. The Dave's work on metals is always fantastic.
Yeah. That helmet's super cool too.
I hadn't heard about Trench Crusade. I just Googled it right now. I'm gonna check it out. This thing looks cool.
Yeah. I'll talk your ear off about it at AdeptiCon.
I'm going to hold you to that because I'm like, that's cool.
Awesome. But yeah, beautiful work there, Dave. Loving it. This is me and some of my Trench Crusade.
I've heard of this guy.
Yeah, so basically I had to paint up a few more models that hadn't finished in the first round. Guy on the left is not an official model. That's one from a creator called Mr. Jar. I say Jar.
Yeah, you have a couple from that guy, right?
I do. Yeah, the Siege Zale team.
Yeah, the guys with the feathers and stuff. Yeah, those guys are cool.
But this guy is an alchemist with a submachine gun.
Okay, as you do.
Yep, looking very cool. And I just finished off the assassin last night. He's on the right hand side with that sort of rusty solid silver armor.
That's awesome.
Yeah, loving it. Awesome. And I've also this weekend finished off painting the guys in the pressure suits. So
these are such great conversions, Dave. Like you did such a knockout job on these.
I converted all these like before Christmas, but then a whole bunch of other stuff got in the way. And I'm excited to finally finish.
So the cutouts on the bases, did you paint the tops with Goblin Hut and let that do the work, or is that like rust by hand? Did you do like oranges and layers and?
Yeah, for these I did them all. You're not gonna be able to see. Hang on a second.
The white on that armor is sharp. I dig that white.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So I did them all basically on the sprue.
Nice.
So I sprayed them all. Then used a sponge to stipple on like some of the what's it called, Banshee Brown, and then Ruddy Terra and some other like lava orange for those. And yeah, then went back and painted over the top. It was like marine mist, and then soft tone really changed that sort of the yellowish in the soft tone really changes the light blue to give it that greenish tinge.
That's super cool, man. They look great. Like the bases, we've talked this before. Whenever you have a good model on a good base, immediately makes it better. Like a bad model on a good base immediately makes it better. So
faces and faces.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are great though.
Yeah, these guys are from my Imperial Agents army.
That's awesome.
So they'll just be like inquisitorial henchmen. So,
I imagine them putting on like giant like 1960s like glass bubble helmets.
Bubble helmets.
Right. Well, the guy, this guy here is holding because the torsos are all from the squat prospectors from Necromunda, and he's holding one of the helmets under his arm.
Nice.
But yeah, guys, when you mentioned the white, what I did was I primed them black, then I hit them with uniform gray spray.
Yeah.
In the army painter, kind of around them, and then from above with white scar spray, and then just went back in a few areas and put in some shading, touched up the edges with some matte white.
Very nice. They look great.
That is a sharp technique. I like that.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about when Dave does stuff like this is looking through it and trying to figure out where all the parts came from. Like, I love converting. So like looking at this, I'm like, the guy in the back with the mohawk, like that's definitely one of the Eliminator heads. That's the Bear Eliminator Sergeant head.
Yeah.
Like I think the legs are all from the Goliath kit.
Yeah, that's right.
They're all Goliaths. Yeah. I mean, there's so much good stuff in here.
Yeah. There's a bunch of Votan stuff as well, and Space Marines and other bits and pieces.
And then you green stuffed the padding, right?
The collars, the padded collars. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yep, they're all done. Hooray! Next up, we got Sulin Lu. Posted. I think we saw a shot of. This is Samael.
Yeah, he's working on Samael. Like, dude, he's rad. I love it. I love that his whole background is like, so we have one. So we're out of jet bikes. Oh wait, except for the one that Samael has. He still has a jet bike. You're like, wait, what? Like, it looks like an Imperial cruiser that he's on. It's a little one.
Yeah. Yep. This guy looks cool, man. That is a good looking. That's a good looking figure.
That's rad. It's so good.
Yeah, I grabbed these two because there we go, wrong way. Because of the detail work.
Yeah,
the book in the book there.
He's got the little winged sword in there.
Yeah,
his skin looks super cool.
Yeah, I like that. That definitely looking skin is cool.
Yeah.
The extreme. Those bags under his eyes.
The bluish white there, the standout, the contrast it puts on there is real sharp. I really dig that.
Yeah. Nice job with the instrument too. That's cool.
Even the gold, like looking at the gold on like the handlebars and on the sword.
Yeah.
That finish he has is so nice.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Sorry, I just noticed Patrick Milano's joined us in the chat. He said late arrival, but holy throwback.
You like that? I should have called Jeff. I should have been like, dude, wear your shirt. Like, I should have called you.
Should be. I would have pulled it out of a box. I probably got it somewhere. Yeah. Somewhere. I would have made my boy Mark Diggles Bolger send me his. I'm sure he still has some lying around.
Yeah. Excellent. Last week we saw a work in progress from Sulin, where he was working on this. Is this Sakaran Venator or
that's a Venator? Yeah.
And
I run one. It's pretty rad. It's a super laser on a tank chassis. So
yeah,
I like that he took the time to do all the different side sponsons.
I think he said this is a commission, so
okay,
commissioned to do all of them. But yeah, I'm glad they took a photo of all of them and showed it. But they,
I just run mine with just heavy bolters. I was like, I'm not paying for any upgrades. Actually, I might on this one. Maybe I do side sponson lasers. I think I do lasers because I'm usually shooting at a vehicle with this thing.
Yeah,
but Yeah, this thing is rad.
Like
the heavy flamers, I don't know why anybody would ever run them. You don't want this thing near anything. You park it in a corner and you leave it there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Sulin is phenomenal. He's a fantastic painter.
And he also posted this. So there's another commission piece he's working on. But again, I wanted to show the up close details of the all the damage and wear.
His reds are so good.
Yeah.
Like all that tonal shifting he does, like across the skin of the tank, is just amazing. And all the little wear and damage chips and different colors. Anybody who isn't sure how to do battle damage, like just keep this picture.
Yeah.
Like if it's dark, he does light bits. If it's light, he does dark bits. Like it's so simple and so clever, but it's so well done on this piece.
Yeah. Definitely fantastic. But check out it's got a couple of other photos in the Facebook group, so definitely head there and check those out. But yeah, beautiful work, Julian.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Excellent. Next up, Justin McCoy. Justin's working on this thing. So initially, I think I said that this was going to be on a floating boat kind of feel, but I think I've been mistaken. I think what it actually is, this is going to be on pylons, up on pylons, and the floating boats would come along and dock next to it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah,
this is like a floating 7-Eleven.
Kind of. Except this one won't be floating. This is going to be on pylons.
Nice.
But he did some awesome detailing on his awesome. Vending machines.
You got the frosted glass on the front too.
That's super cool.
Yeah, and just all those so many soda bottles in there. But yeah,
I'm hoping those were like little like modeling toys that came like that. Because if I had to paint all those soda balls, I'd lose my mind.
I'd go bonkers. I don't even know. Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they just came like that. Like, he can tell us. Otherwise, I will not be able to sleep. Like, he needs to let us know if he bought those like that.
Yeah, are they in there, or is that just painted on the glass itself?
No, I think they're in there.
No, they're in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but yeah, it's coming along really nicely. Justin, it's looking great.
That's so good.
Fantastic. Excellent. Next up, Luis has been working on his suppressors.
Dude, these guys are rad.
Yeah, I think the first one last week, he hadn't gone in and done the like the jump pack exhausts.
Yeah,
but in this second one, he has gone in and done those.
Oh, they look so good.
He did them really right, jumping off the rocks instead of getting rid of the stem. These look great.
We talked about it last week. I hate those plastic stands.
Yeah, I probably have 20 of these guys, and I'm like, no, I need to do this. I still look at the stems. Not my thing.
So Luis came into the store today, and we were talking about this. So he told us a couple weeks ago he did like 5 or 6. He's doing 6 of them, I think. But all of the little bases he's got, he just 3D printed the little concrete bits, and then like that's it. And then he decorated. There's like ivy and skulls, but he was like, it's just a little 3D print piece of rubble. And that's it. And I was like, they look amazing. Like, you always have to have a contact point, and this guy looks sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But beautiful work there, Luis. Excellent. Mike Sibilia. So Mike
this looks like some Trench Crusade stuff.
Yeah, he coordinates all of the hobby stuff at Nova. So he's kind of like the hobby czar there. So he oversees all of the hobby track kind of thing. So the Capital Palette painting competition, all the hobby seminars that Dan Osborne organizes, Hobby Alley, I can't remember what it's called, but Hobby Haven. So all that stuff. But Mike put this together for Trench Crusade. So he's using a whole bunch of Sisters of Battle models. He was like, I don't have a 3D printer. I can't buy the physical models yet, but I have a whole bunch of Sisters of Battle. So he just went wild. And
that's the girls in the front. They're from the kill team. That's why they all have the auto guns.
Right. Yep. And they got the
cool
novitiate heads, which look really cool.
The patina heavy robots in the back, they're awesome.
Yeah, they look amazing. Like that looks like a giant, squeaky brass statue that just like gets animated.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he's using these as new Antioch, which is the more militarily organized force against the forces of hell, and they have heavy mechanized infantry or mechanized heavy infantry in big armored suits. So that's what these engines on the left are.
He's done such a good job. The minimal source lighting he's got on their legs on the candles is really effective. Without going nuts, like it's super effective like that. And then all of the grime and verdigris he has with all the copper wash, like that, they look dynamite. Yeah.
Great texture in there as well.
These models work really well for Trench Crusade. Like they're phenomenal. The sisters look awesome.
Yep. So in the new Antioch, they're basic. So the three levels of troops are the yeomen, the shock troopers, and the heavy mechanized infantry, or mechanized heavy infantry, whichever one it is. So his sacristans, I think they're called.
Yep.
Models.
They have the submarine door shields.
Yeah. Yep. So those ones are his shock troopers.
Yeah.
So everything fits in really well.
I'm assuming the one over on the far right is the was it the battle?
Oh, I think that might be the trench cleric.
Oh, trench cleric. Yeah.
But beautiful work there, Mike. They look great. I will have to give you a game at some point. But yeah, nice one.
Yeah, those are dope.
Next up.
All right, who's this, Dave?
This is I think technically I have to say that's Jonathan Majors.
That's true. This is Immortus.
Oh, hey, you didn't let me finish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is Immortus, who is kind of like Kang later, after he's Kang the Conqueror, who is this Immortus is later, where he's kind of doesn't want to kill anybody.
Well, it's also he's
done with war.
He's also, once he's Kang the Conqueror, he finds out that there's other Kangs, and he goes through time like killing all the other Kangs. And the idea is that each time he does, he kind of gets their power. So at this point, he's Immortus. He's not Kang. There are no Kangs. Like, it's just him.
He's killed them all. Yeah.
But there's just one timeline.
His special power is he is immortal, right?
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, he did he set up the what was it, TMI?
Yeah, so supposedly he sets up the TVA, the Time Variance Authority.
TVA, there we go. But yeah, no, Scott's done an awesome job on here.
Yeah, this is super cool.
Love the just the way that he's working with the volumes, that light and shadow.
The highlights on the gold bars and on the purple of his hat, super cool.
Yeah. Beautiful work there, Scott. He's looking great. I, for full disclosure, I did have to go and research this.
I was really impressed, Dave. Like,
I was trying, but I had to do that beforehand. Yeah, beautiful work, Scott. Scott also painted up this Krieger.
Very nice.
Yep.
This is all done with Dave's colors.
Yeah. So Jeff and Brian, a few weeks ago, Scott asked me what my top 10 colors were.
Right.
I didn't have to include black or white. I got those as freebies, but I gave him a list of colors, and they came up with a list of colors on the show, and he went away and used the closest colors that he had for it, and painted up this mini with them.
That's awesome.
The week after, he got Jake's top 10 as well, which are a bit different. So I think what we might have to do, something coming up soon, is basically do a challenge for everybody in the chat and our guests, and get them to drop their top 10.
Now, to be fair, because we clarified with Scott, and I said, is it just like my top 10 favorite colors? And he was like, the idea would be that you're stuck on a desert island and you have an endless supply of these colors, and that's it. And I was like, oh, so I did the cheat where I was like, I'll take a bunch of basic colors that I can mix. I'll take a gold and a silver and a couple of washes. And I was like, I can make my own colors. And Scott was furious because he was doing a ton of blending. So
whereas I was like, I'll do something kind of similar, but my blue wasn't a perfect like mid blue, like saturated mid blue, and I had 2 greens that weren't super saturated greens, but just flexed it a little bit. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, technically Jake was correct, but super non-fun.
Technically correct is the best kind of correct. So,
but super non-fun.
I'm not sure.
Scott does a lot of blending, and he does a lot of like non-metallic metallics. And the issue he was running into was he paints with a lot of volumes when he paints. So he would come back to it, and because I have all basic colors, he would have to like try to remix and match what he was doing, and it was driving him nuts. So
gross.
Absolutely fair. But beautiful work there, Scott. Looks great. And there we go. That's my top 10.
Yep, those are nice. So
yeah, Guardian Green, Midnight Olive. My blue was that Dark Sea blue on the left. Got a nice yellow in there. Got the Fiery Vermilion, Ruddy Terror, Blanched Berry.
Yeah. The new Blanche sets are fantastic.
Yeah.
I think we have like 2 left. We sold like all the rest of them immediately. It's such a nice kit.
Yeah, definitely. And then Stephen Ryder, awesome stuff. Finished off his orc or his friend's orc warlord.
Old camera face. This guy's the best.
Yep, camera face. So yeah, Brian and Jeff, one of Stephen's friends, converted this back in like 2000, but it remained unpainted for 25 years.
Ooh.
And went and painted him up.
That's awesome. Love the islands.
Came out well.
Yeah. Yeah, the islands is great, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love the swirly stripe on the head of the missile there. Looks great. Nice work, Steve.
I like that a lot.
And Stephen also shared with us his next project that he's working on. This guy.
Dang.
Fun.
That thing is crazy.
It is crazy. This is an old okay, I'm not even gonna say Stephen can let us know in the chat, but this is like a centaur dragon.
Okay.
It's called. But this is an old, again, a really old model. And I just love that he's got that wonderful flaming crazy sword.
Those wings are insane.
They are. There we go. Centaur Dragon painted up. Oh, it's being painted up for Ralpath the Legacy. Awesome. So this is his start on the paint job.
Nice.
But yeah, it's got that great sort of cartoony look to it. And I think Stephen's just really leaning into that as well.
Is it a resin model?
I don't.
No, I think if it's Ralpath the Legacy, it would have been white metal.
Yeah.
It might even be lead, but I think it's white metal.
Yeah, this is white metal. The original was probably lead.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, I don't know how old this particular version of the kit he has. Like, it could be lead. I don't know.
True.
How heavy do you think that thing is? Oh, I bet you it's heavy.
Yeah.
I bet it's chonky, but like I tell people all the time, the heaviest model I've ever built is the Hell Cannon.
All right, that's fair.
It was like a metal. It was like a metal Rubik's cube. You could kill somebody with that thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking great there, Stephen. Nice work. Excellent. And there we go. We're at the end of the slides. So as I mentioned earlier, we are going to be on. Jake and I are going to be on More Than Dice on their live stream on Twitch on Sunday, March 9th. This Sunday coming up. Link to their Twitch channel is in the notes below. Come and check it out. We're going to be talking about the current state of gaming, what we think about where skirmish games are at, size of games, terrain, that kind of thing, which should be a lot of fun.
I thought we were. Oh, that's my bad. I thought we were talking about like tariffs and like geopolitics. Okay, I'll change my notes. That's on me.
Yeah, that's it. That's a different podcast you're on.
That's a different show. That's a different show.
That's just you, not me. But yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Jake and I are also having a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. We've got a meeting happening this Friday And we're hoping that wonderful things come from it. We will be able to let you know later in the week. But otherwise,
yeah, I don't want to jinx it. We'll tell you guys on Tuesday if there's any news to tell. But
yeah, for sure. Cool. And also Friday we will announce what we're doing on this show next Tuesday. So be ready for that. Cool. I think that has covered everything. Jeff, Brian, have you got any famous last words before the final march to Adepticon?
Yeah, hey, you know what? It's not Adepticon if you're not painting at 2 a.m. on an airplane or in your hotel room or something like that. So good luck, everyone, in that last 3-week sprint.
Good luck. And if you happen to be playing in the friendly, remember, you may want to cross the streams.
Nice.
You never want to cross the streams. Never cross the streams.
You may want to.
Okay. So quick follow-up question. So because the I guess the scenario is Ghostbusters, is it specifically like the original Ghostbusters, or is it like the franchise?
It's the franchise. Cross.
Okay.
It's heavy first, but there's some good elements in the others that you can't take.
I was just curious. Like I was like, I wonder if you do a series like do you pick one or? But all right,
we play across the genres.
Right on.
Oh, cool. Clint has joined us in the chat, yelling "Team Pink!"
Team Pink.
Yeah, so Dave, I picked these up today.
Okay. What are they? The blue and the gold?
So it's the Horde Bronze and the Magic Blue.
Okay.
So the Magic Blue is going to be the bodies of my my Warhounds. So it's basically just inverted World Eaters colors. Like, so they're mostly like a royal blue with like white accents and like a little bit of red and brass. So I bust these out today. I have not used this particular Speed Paint Metallic. I haven't used the bronze yet. So I was like, oh, okay. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'll be chonking away at these guys for the next 3 weeks. I have literally 3 weeks from starting today. I have 3 weeks.
Yep. Nice.
I can do it. I can get it done. It's 50 models.
Yeah. Cool thing. Excellent. So I think that's us.
All right.
And Brian, if you can just hang out for a few minutes after we say bye-bye to.
So again, a huge thank you to Brian and Jeff for being here and walking us through the friendly. It was awesome getting insight and seeing what's going on, and hopefully people will be able to do it. Anybody who wants to go to Adepticon, it's my favorite show. We've said this before. You get to meet great people and hang out with like people that want to have fun and push miniature rounds on a table. If you've ever thought about going, like, this will be a growing pains year with them being in a new venue, but I'm sure that Hank and Matt and the team will handle it well. So next year I would absolutely recommend it. If anybody's got any questions or comments, you guys can post below. Dave and I'll check it. You can also post on our Facebook page. Don't forget to do all the things, like, subscribe, share it, whatever, leave a comment. We will see you all next week. And do not forget to build, paint, play.
Yeah.
Shut up and sit down.